49ers are going to need to ride their defense a little bit more. The defense has not been great of late. It was not great on Monday night. Kirk Cousins shredded the 49ers. Here's Nick Bosa, one of the best pass rushers in football, addressing the question of whether his holdout that went all the way until just before the start of the regular season is affecting his performance half of the season in.
I think a little bit. I think I'm trying to work on stuff on the run this year that I wasn't able to do in camp. So those games that I mentioned, the two, I think I was thinking too much because I was trying to add something to my rush plan, which is not what I want to be doing during season. I want to be locked in on what I do best and just doing it throughout the whole year. But there's no excuse at this point for that.
You know, it's another sign that when we get into training camp next year and guys are holding out and there's a general understanding that the clock strikes midnight just before week one, maybe you should get these deals done before camp opens. Maybe it's in everyone's best interest to treat that as the deadline and everyone move to their bottom line and let's get these deals done because the player's going to be better off for it, Peter, and the team's going to be better off for it. When I hear Nick Bosa talk like that, it makes me think that everybody should have been at the table prioritizing getting his contract done before training camp opened.
Well, in watching the 49ers play, I'm reminded of a conversation I had with John Lynch at training camp, the general manager of the Niners. And look, I think Lynch and Shanahan have done a great job. How can you not think that in building this franchise over the last 7 years? But I do think that, before this season, and again, this season has not been played. It's all, not even half over yet. But I just remember Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch having a conversation. They weren't intending to go out and to do something in spending in free agency because they knew that they had a lot of players that they were going to have to pay coming up. So they weren't going to be that active in free agency. But Kyle Shanahan said to Lynch, man, this Javon Hargrave is really impressive. Can we get involved with him? Should we get involved with him? To the point that Lynch felt like he had to ask Jed York, the owner, whether he would be okay if they got involved. And Jed York actually stopped at his house, Lynch's house, on a Saturday before his son's youth baseball game. And Lynch said, listen, I know we weren't going to spend money on this, but we're interested in this player. What do you think? And York said, go for it. And I only bring up that story because Kyle Shanahan wanted to have a defense like he had in 2019, which is the ability to withstand even a key injury. They have so many good impact players on defense that you can withstand an injury or two, which almost every year is going to happen. And this defensive front is not playing like that, Mike. And I think as much as you can say, well, I got a problem with Jake Moody missing 41 and 40-yard field goals in consecutive games. That can't happen. As much as you can say Brock Purdy has fallen to earth even pre-concussion. As much as you can criticize everything, but to me, the thing I would criticize the most about the Niners now is that they don't have that sort of feared defensive front that I think they've paid for. And I think it's incumbent not just on Nick Bosa. I think it's incumbent on that entire front to play better. And I'm sure that has been one of the rallying cries in practice this week.
And now they see the Bengals come to town, rematches of both Super Bowls 16 and 23. Joe Burrow says he feels 100% because they've had the bye week. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.